In this build, I'm building a little bit of a platform with elevating Mum's fridge a little bit higher, and it's quite low to the ground. So I thought I'd just make something up to and just enhance, the practicality of having a fridge that small. I'm using all recycled materials for which I've had laying around my garage for a long time now, and I thought I may as well utilise what I've got, and at least it gets it out of the shed. So I'm using melamine here. This is the going to be the base for the top of this little platform. Yeah, it's just a big sheet and it's just cumbersome, and I'm not sure what else to do with it, so I'm going to use it in a few projects and get rid of it. I'm probably best off buying these things and having the purpose of for the build that I'm doing at the time, rather than just have leftovers around. For an edge band, I'm using some leftover jarrah here. I've put a bit of a profile on it, so it looks a little bit, I don't know, better than just not having anything there. Sneaking up on the miters, it's always a bit tricky, but you just take off a little bit at a time. I'll just tack this on with a bit of melamine glue and some brad nails. So I've got this pine, I machined it down from previous jobs. It's just about ready to go. As I said, recycling everything I've got. The platform's going to be at a height of 400 millimetres or 15 3/4 inches, a width of 520 millimetres, 20.5 inches, and a depth of 580 mil or 22 3/4 inches. Just creating a chamfer here on the legs. Once again, using the router table. I find with smaller components, if you've got a router table, use it. Once you want to put edging and some sort of pattern on a larger surface, then I use the portable router. Using the pocket hole jig here once again. I believe most people who have one of these will probably say they use them on most of their projects. If you're time poor and you just want to get something done, they are fantastic. I find if you can do a lot of the prep work, such as painting or sort of a stain to get you going, it eliminates a lot of fiddly work at the end of the project where you're trying to get into corners and crevices, and you end up getting stuff where you don't really want it. I'm using my spirit level and a straight edge, getting at 90 degrees, and then when we put our workpiece on top, we know it's going to be spot on. Putting the ends of the frames together here, and then we'll do the rest of the assembly, putting the two frames together. As you can see, I missed a bit of paint here, but never mind. I'll get back to it shortly. So it's about this stage of painting where you're starting to go a little bit stir crazy, where you're thinking about all sorts of silly things, and I thought of a joke. So this fella walks into this paint store, and he walks up to the fella at the counter, and the bloke behind the counter said, "What'll it be?" That's pretty bad, isn't it? Only for people in Australia who might get that. Sorry. Now I'm attaching the top to the base, pre-drilled a few holes around the perimeter and driving some screws in flush to the top. So the screws won't be seen as the fridge will be sitting right on top of this platform. I'm making a little stubby holder, if that makes sense. This will go next to the top of the platform and just allow a little bit of access, a bit of storage for the things that are important. Keep our hands in, comfortable when we're having a beer or soft drink. Building this little compartment here with plywood, also going to put some edge banding, a couple of strips of jarrah, and I might do something at the ends as well with a bit of jarrah I've got left over. All leftovers this build, so I'm pretty happy I've utilised what scrap I had laying around or standing up in the shop. And flush trimming the base. Whilst you all went inside and made a cuppa and just relaxed a little bit and might have went to the toilet and used your toilet roll holders, I put a couple of ends on. This is jarrah material again, just gives it a little bit more of a, I suppose, a finished look. So a couple of spare hooks here, they're going to come in handy. In case you're still trying to work it out, that little bad gag I told earlier, what'll it be? Wattle is a brand of paint in Australia. Oh, and another thing, you might have seen the platform rocking around a bit. That's just the floor in the garage. I'll show you when I put it at Mum's house. It's good. So this is for Mum. I think she'll get some value out of this. Give it a go. Let's see if anything fails.
Oh, how great is this? And yes, good morning, happy Easter Sunday. You'll probably find as you get older, like me, I've bought a little bar fridge for my patio area, and with a sore back, sore knees, it's quite hard to reach down and open it at times. So we can, hang our bottles there, and yes, so thank you, Dirk.
Yeah.